We've had quite a bit of rain this year, which with rain, anytime you have extreme weather patterns, whether it's snow, lots of rain, drought, that's stressful for animals. So stress always lowers immunity in these animals. One of the problems we see with wet weather, especially, is in the feet and in the skin, constantly staying wet. This allows for penetration of bacteria, which can lead to infections. Bacteria like Dermatophilus congolensis, which causes an ulcerative, exudative dermatitis, little round spots of infection that you'll see on cattle and maybe some other animals. Not uncommon when we get lots of rain. The other thing that you'll see, animals tend to congregate in areas. They're trying to avoid the rain. They're going to go to certain areas, congregate. The longer they stay there, the more fecal material that's deposited. Cows lay down in that. Cow gets up. If she's got fecal material on her teats, then a calf nurses that. He's prone to getting infections. We'll see some increase in calf scours and those types of diseases in these animals. I think what's most important is to keep a close eye on these animals and monitor and be ready to, any animal that shows any signs of disease or an infection, you need to be ready to treat early, because we know our outcomes are most likely going to be more successful if we get on top of those diseases early. These moist, wet conditions and these warm temperatures, ideal conditions for our nematodes, our worms in our cattle, and especially in our small ruminants. Strongly suggest to those sheep and goat producers to really stay on top of their monitoring of that. Either do fecal egg counts, use your FAMACHA cards, or a 5-point check to make sure you find those animals early and get them treated if they're having problems with parasites. Cattle producers probably need to pay especially close attention to those animals that are 2 years of age or less, because we know they have more problems with parasites. They may want to do some fecal egg counts and be sure and stay on top of keeping these animals free from parasites as best as possible. You're obviously going to see, with more water, you're going to see pools, you're going to see more mosquitoes. You know, diseases like West Nile virus or something like that transferred through mosquitoes may become more of a problem. One of the things that we might have to worry about later on is, with flooding, you get disturbance of the soil. There could be some bacterial spores that this flood kicks up and deposits it in areas that they normally wouldn't be. So spores like blackleg, your Clostridium shovii, they may become more of a problem this summer, especially if it gets dry and cattle get to grazing low. And anthrax, we don't usually see anthrax in Oklahoma, but following floods, a lot of times we'll see some cases of that show up just because we've disturbed the soil and those spores have been exposed where cattle can actually come in contact with them. And these animals also tend to deteriorate rapidly, and if you see that, you probably ought to contact your veterinarian and let him come out and take some samples to check to make sure that's not what's going on. It doesn't look like the forecast shows more and more rain coming, so this isn't something that's going to go away anytime soon. Especially just keep a close eye on your animals and make sure that they're doing well.